Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance.
Good morning and welcome to the MyTarot Morning Reflection, our daily inventory and chance to take a breath. And welcome to this Monday. The weather over the weekend was wonderful. I got to go out and be in the sun, so that was nice. I hope others had an enjoyable weekend. I had to do some work. Good morning, Jess. So I am going to be up in Havre de Grace in October for the first Friday, Jess. I don't know if you're going to be there or not. So, what are we doing here? It's a chance to remember to put our feet flat on the floor. Have our butt do the kitty dance. Let our shoulders relax. And our neck relax. And check in with the universe. See if we have any angers or resentments or anything to look at. See if there's like something positive we can find to carry us through the day. Or as I like to say, the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And we use the tarot for that reflection. I know. I'm also doing a class up there, I think on the 8th. And that class is going to be on pretty much what we do here with the morning reflection, using that as kind of like a journaling technique. So, but the question is for today is, what does the universe have for us? And I am going to do our 3-in-1. Making our 3 stacks here, each one a different thread going out to the universe, like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one path. This conversations and this conversation will be different paths. And so today, let's take the center stack, or what I like to think of as what's right at the heart. So let's do our 3-in-1. And turning each card over one at a time like they're the pages of a book. And the first card that we have is the Page of Cups. So, what are pages? Pages are, as you've heard me say a million times, pages are when we're willing and open to learning something. Pages want to learn to be the knight. A knight wants to learn to be a king. Well, a Page of Cups. Cups are our spirituality, our emotions, and our feelings. So this is when we are open to new feelings, new ideas, new joys. You know, being ready to maybe look at things differently and pick that chalice up. But let's see what the next card is. The Knight of Wands. So, knights are the element of fire. And they're the ones that, in the 1500s, what we would send into battle first, because they charge, they're the action, they're that energy that we put into something. And same thing with wands. Wands are our action, our fire, our energy, our passions, all that fire that we put into things. But as I always say, when we have 2 cards that are court cards. Court cards can be us, could be somebody else. Okay. court cards are not male or female. They're masculine energy, feminine energy. And when we have one, it's easy. Okay, so good. But when we have two, we have to ask a question. Is this two separate people? Because we have the Page of Cups, and that's about emotions and feelings. And then we have the Knight of Wands, and that's fire and energy. So could it be two people clashing, or could it be two people getting... But a lot of times I still feel that when we see multiple court cards, unless it's a particular situation, they are parts of our personality. So when we are the Page of Cups, we have an idea, we see this feeling, and that feeling can burn with us, and then we take an action and we move forward with it. It's about running with it, about moving forward with our idea or our thought. But the important thing is to see what the Knight of Wands is looking at. And we end up with 3 court cards. And we end up with the Knight of Coins. So again, knights are our fire and our energy and our passion and our drive. And coins are the element of earth. They're about slowing down. They are our home, our health, our finances, and all those things that keep us grounded. Fire does not want to be grounded, though. Fire wants action. So when we see these 3 cards here, we can see reflections of our personality where we find something to become passionate about, and yet it goes nowhere. So the thing about the Knight of Coins is he's not charging. Look at this horse. This horse is just kind of more like just, let's kind of trot along compared to let's lunge into battle, right? So we put a lot of fire and effort into something, and then we will get delayed. Maybe we are waiting for the right moment. Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, Angelina. So the Knight of Coins, without all that extra action, he's waiting for something, or maybe taking notes, or the momentum just is not there. But let's take a look at the advice card. And here's where we have our major. And majors are what we pay attention to. So these cards are our day-to-day cards. We have cups, we have wands, we have coins. We're covering all these different aspects. We're covering our spirituality, we're covering our passions, and we're covering, we have water, we have fire, and we have earth. We have these different elements, but are they really going anywhere? And with the Empress is the one that actually, the emperor has to sit there and they take charge. They make sure the kingdom, without empathy, it's like they know that it's like whether he likes it or not, he's got to do what's good for the kingdom. The Empress, she is our earth mother. She is the one that is nurturing in the kingdom. She's the one that has the compassion. She will make, she still rules. She still has all the power. But she's going to take compassion and feeling into our decisions. So when we have these 3 cards, these 3 aspects of our lives, we have these desires to do things, and they make us feel good, and we want to run and jump and do these. But the Empress sees also that it's like, are we actually completing anything? We put all this fire and energy. I'm going to go out and buy a lawnmower, and I'm going to start mowing my grass instead of paying somebody. And we make plans, but the fire and energy's there, but we don't do it. Or, a relationship. Relationships start with the cups, in a page when we first start one. Then we move to that passion part. And then we move to the slowing down. And again, not that this is a bad thing, especially with that, because if we look at it as a relationship, it's about realizing that all that fire and energy again, and then things become more grounded, slow down, and maybe we even wonder where all that energy went. So today, as we look at things, or as we're getting all fired up for something, or we are even feeling like, what happened to all that passion? What happened to all that energy? That, because that feels good to have passion and fire and drive. And then we can ask ourselves sometimes, so what happened to it? And that's where we want to go to the Empress. And it's about seeing things through the eyes of compassion and saying, maybe it's time to change direction. Maybe it's time to find something that, is more, again, this is water, fire, earth. We're all different elements here. It's not a focus. It's different parts of our relationships. It's different parts of the passions that we get, that we find in our lives. But also it's those things where sometimes we just end up stopping. Even though we still have all that fire and energy, we wonder where all that fire and energy went. And the Empress, when we go to her, she understands she is water, but she's also action and getting things done. So we need to go there and ask, how are we really feeling? What do we really need to do to make the kingdom happy? What do we need to do to feel that passion and get that momentum back again? And if we stop and we listen to what the Empress would say, what might the Empress say? Is that, are you really in touch with your feelings? Originally you had this passion. What happened to it? And she's going to say, you're going to have to take a charge. And you're going to have to make a decision. And she's going to say, nobody's going to make that decision for you. So today, let's think about that feeling, like, what happened to all of our drive? We had these plans. Starting something creative, starting that book. We had all these ideas, and then we come to a halt. And it's, again, setting down and asking the Empress, what is that real block? And she's going to tell us to take that feeling again and be honest with it and take control of our kingdom. And if we're feeling that loss, to pick up that cup again and put that fire back into it. Because we're the only thing standing in our own way. She's going to say, if we're bored or we're not completing something, in all honesty, it's because we are standing in our own way. And so with that, I hope everybody has that amazing Monday morning. You were on the wrong note. Oh, there was another notification up there? Oh my goodness, I am sorry about that. Well, I'm going to double check that. So this wow. So this week, um, I am going to be going to Boston. So Thursday and Friday, I'm probably not going to be doing readings. I'm just going to be realistic about it. I'm going to be up in Boston taking our daughter to college. So, am I going to get up early? We'll see. So, take care, everybody, and I will check about the notifications. And thanks again, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the card, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night.